Hi there, welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us this evening. A few quick housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week at strivescan.com/WACAC, W-A-C-A-C. Now, there is no possible way you can get all of the information that you need from a 6-minute session with 6 schools in it to make an informed decision about where you're going to go to college. However, you can get some information to see if you want more information, to see if you're interested in learning more. So think of this as, well, whetting your appetite, the appetizer for before the bigger meal, that sort of thing. But you can see what interest you might have and see if anything here kind of piques your interest for more information later. All right, I've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Time for me to step out of the way and turn it over to our first presentation, the representative from Arizona State University.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to share my screen here with some slides and walk you through some stuff about ASU. So just to start, I am located in the San Diego area, but obviously I represent Arizona State University, and I talk to students from both out of state and in state. ASU is the largest public university in the country, so we have 4 campuses in the Phoenix area. So there's a lot to choose from and a lot of ways to specialize your academic experience to really fit with your interests and really anything you're interested in outside the classroom, in the classroom, all that stuff. So Tempe is a big one. So if you want a big campus, if you want like D1 sports, football stadium, that kind of thing, you want the Tempe campus. That's about 55,000 students. Downtown is our second largest campus. That's about 11,500. And that has a lot of our medical degrees, some business degrees, a journalism school, that kind of thing. Polytechnic is out kind of in the desert area. We've got our flight program out there. That's about 5,500 students. And then West Campus is our smallest. That's about 4,500 students. So you really can specialize your experience to what you're interested in. If you want a small school, you can go to West Campus, but you have the resources of a big school. So there's a free shuttle bus that runs every 15 minutes to every campus, lots of ways to get around. Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the US. There's a lot going on in Phoenix and a lot of ways to get your hands dirty in terms of getting internships and things like that, and a lot of ways to get involved and get things on your resume. ASU right now is number 5 in the country for getting a job after graduation, and that has a lot to do with the fact that you are going directly into your major. So you hit the ground running with classes in your major. We also guarantee you a spot in each class each semester to graduate in 4 years. That's huge. So if you come in as a business student, for example, you start your business classes, we kind of mix in those general education classes, but you're basically going to be doing business for 4 years. So by the time you graduate, you have a lot on your resume. Community is a big deal. ASU is very conscious of being a big school. We want to create communities wherever we can. So with that in mind, we've got what we call the residential colleges, and that means that you live, I'm going to stick with business. So that means that you live with business students, for example. So it's a business dorm, so you have that community already set up for you, and then you go to class together, you eat together, you can get homework help at 4 o'clock in the morning if someone's awake, that kind of thing. We also have, last time I checked, over 1,500 clubs and organizations, and no matter what campus you're at, you can participate in any club or organization on any campus. There's a lot to choose from. My favorite is the taco eating club. Okay, so steps to apply, very simple, very straightforward. You submit the ASU application, takes maybe a half an hour. Make sure to self-report your grades. If you don't know what that means, maybe talk to your counselor, but it basically just means you tell us what your grades are. We base your decision on what you tell us your grades are, and then we don't verify anything until after you graduate from high school, at which point we'll make sure that you did everything correctly. And so your admissions is based on what you self-report, but it makes the process a lot faster, and it's a rolling admission basis, and the application will open July 1st. You pay the application fee, step 3, and then check on your application status. You'll get a login for your My ASU portal. And so if you have any questions throughout, you also have an ASU admissions representative who is located in your area. Once you get admitted, and I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, but I'll give you contact information at the end of this. Once you're admitted to ASU, you can start applying to those scholarships. The New American University Scholarship is the easiest money you're ever going to get for college. It's based on your GPA and your test score if you take the ACT or SAT. So what that means is it's automatic money, and you don't have to apply to it. It's automatic. You just submit your test scores if you have them, but your GPA will suffice if you have not had the chance to take the SAT or ACT. We also have a scholarship portal. Obviously, you have to be admitted for that before you start applying, but make sure to apply early and often. And what I mean by that is the scholarships will pop up, new ones pop up all the time, so make sure to apply to those scholarships, but those will be stackable, it's called. That's a really good word to know when you're looking for scholarships. Are they stackable? And that just means, obviously, do they stack on top of each other? Because sometimes they won't be stackable and they will cancel each other out. So it's not like you're getting more money, it's just going to be, you know, deviated a little bit differently. But in terms of these two, the New American University Scholarship and the Scholarship Portal, those are definitely stackable. Prospective student programming. We do have live hosted experiences online, lots of virtual options. You can do an academic presentation to see like what your specific interests are for the academic program you're interested in, or you can actually just do like the general overall presentation. That's a much longer presentation than the 6 minutes I'm giving you. There's also the admissions and financial aid information sessions. Those are really helpful if you're having trouble with the application or just kind of wondering how much ASU is going to cost, that kind of thing. We do have walking tours on campus. Highly recommend those. Make sure to sign up early because those do fill up because they're keeping them very small right now. And then again, virtual offerings. So go to visit.asu.edu, see all the options. There's tons there and a lot of resources on that website. Another resource is your representative, aka me. This is a very fancy picture of me, and the email is right there. But if you do have questions, all of the representatives all over the country that we have in every area, and we actually have 8 representatives just in California, all of us are ready to help you out, and we will make sure to have time for you. We have a sign-up sheet so you can go in and actually sign up for a half-hour sessions as well. All right, and that is the end of my spiel. I'm going to stop sharing, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. And I will repeat what I said at the beginning, since some people came in just a little bit after I was finished with my intro spiel, which is use the Q&A to ask questions of our presenters at any time. If it's for a specific school, just name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Krista. I'm an assistant director of admissions on our Embry-Riddle Prescott campus. Since we don't have a lot of time together today, I think I could show you better than I could tell you what Embry-Riddle has to offer. So I'm first going to start off with a very short video of the Prescott campus.
Yes, data. High fluid thermal conditioning not required, Max. That's correct, flight. GC, go. Guidance, go. FIDO, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. ECOM, go. FAO, go. ACO, go.
Okay, now just to echo some of the things that you saw in that video, here are some distinct degree programs we have on campus. We do offer the #1 aerospace engineering program in the nation, and we have for the last 20 years. We also have the first and only College of Security Intelligence in the nation, and the first and only Aerospace Physiology program, which is a pre-med program that focuses on aeronautics and space flight on the human body. We are an ABET accredited institution, which is the highest accreditation that an engineering and technology degree program can hold. If you are going into the engineering field or the technology field, you definitely want to make sure that you have an ABET accredited degree program, because it just backs your degree program and verifies it to the companies that you want to work for. Our graduates yield among the highest return on investment in the nation. We are in the top 1%, meaning only 64 colleges have a ROI over $1 million, and we are one of those colleges. We are also the #1 institution in both Arizona and Florida for the highest level quality of education and affordability. We bring in the smartest students every year, and we are graduating the smartest students in those respective states. We have 2 campuses in Daytona Beach and in Prescott, Arizona. Our Daytona Beach campus is a little bit larger with about 7,000 students, but as you can see, we offer a lot of the same things. The Prescott, Arizona campus, which is where I graduated from, has about 3,000 students. Our average class size is 24. I know a lot of colleges say that their class sizes are relatively small, but we do not have any grad programs on campus. So those are true. We don't have any classrooms here on campus that could hold more than 60 students. We also have sports teams and clubs and organizations on campus, and we host the Air Force and Army ROTC as well. As for outcomes, 94% of our graduates are employed or continuing their education within 1 year of graduation. The national average for students getting a job within their discipline when they graduate is below 40%. So we're really proud of our students. A lot of that has to do with the hands-on experience you get, and that we are degree specific, so you are not taking general education courses for 2 years. We have a really strong industry outlook for all of our different degree programs. We don't offer hundreds of degree programs. We only have 25 degrees on the Prescott campus because we really like to specialize and focus in and make sure that we have that quality education. Our career services plays a really big part into that 94% employment rate that we have. We have career expos in the fall and in the spring, and then they're actively trying to get you internships because a lot of internships are intern to hire. We also have a lot of alum out there. You'll learn really soon in college that it's not always about what you know, but who you know. So we're really proud of our students going off to those top ranked companies, NASA, SpaceX, Boeing, Micron, CIA, FBI. We have Embry-Riddle alum out there in all those different companies. Our application process is pretty easy. We have rolling admissions, which means that you can apply at any time throughout your senior year. The online application is available on our website, and then all that we require is your unofficial high school transcripts. Everything else is optional. And for financial aid, you'll be automatically reviewed for financial aid if you have above a 3.0 weighted GPA, and over 90% of our students do receive some type of financial aid through scholarships, grants, or loans. You'll be automatically reviewed for your merit-based scholarships, and then any need-based scholarships will come from FAFSA, and we highly recommend that you apply to external scholarships, which you can find on our website or by working with your admissions counselor, because we do stack scholarships at the institution. So thank you. If you guys want more information in the chat, I am going to post a request more information link. It's super simple. You just have to fill it out, and we'll send you some more information in the mail. But thanks for visiting us with us tonight.
Thank you very much. And if you have questions for anyone, just make sure you use the Q&A button to ask questions at any time. Up next, we'll hear from Northern Arizona University.
Thank you very much. Hopefully you'll be able to see my screen in just a moment. That's great. Thanks for having us tonight. Thanks for everybody being here tonight. My name is Betsy Rugstassen. I am the regionally based coordinator for California admission. I'm actually located in San Diego County, and NAU is located actually up in the mountain town of Flagstaff, Arizona at 7,000 feet high and within the largest ponderosa pine forest in the world. So we're home to the lumberjacks. And it's about 2 hours north and uphill from Phoenix area, only about an hour and a half south of the Grand Canyon, 45 minutes northeast of Sedona, Arizona, about 3 hours from 11 national parks and monuments. And NAU students therefore get to experience 4 beautiful distinct seasons. You can see hopefully our downtown right here. And it's only about maybe a 10 to 20 minute walk, depending upon where you are from campus, to go down to our historic downtown area. Students, if you like being outside, outdoor adventures like skiing, hiking, biking, snowboarding, biking, camping, and fishing, running. Flagstaff has actually one of the best urban trail systems actually in the whole country, which makes it nice for students as well too. So they can have a chance to go outside and explore and do all those kinds of things that students like to do as well. Everything is all within just a little bit away as well too. And Flagstaff's the only major city in Arizona that's never reached 100 degrees. The average winter high temperature is about 45 degrees, but sometimes it can feel warmer than that because of that elevation. It can get about 100 inches of snow a year too, but it's very light. It melts very quickly in that high elevation, and the days are just as sunny as most of Nevada and California. Fun fact, Pluto was actually discovered in Flagstaff. It is a dark sky city, so Pluto is always very close and dear to everyone's heart in Flagstaff, even though there's been some debate if it is actually still a planet or not. And we do have athletics as well. We have Division I athletics, more than 400 clubs and activities to get students involved. So quite a few activities for students as well, which makes it nice for our students to get involved. About 20% of our students are actually from out of the state of Arizona as well too. So keep that in mind as well. About 20% of those students are from California as well. And we have about 21,000 undergraduate students total. We're the smallest of the 3 state universities in California. None of our majors are impacted. That's kind of a California word. I think you'll hear most of the colleges in our section tonight. We have no impacted majors, hard to necessarily get into as far as number of students wanting those majors as well. 97 at NAU. We're kind of known for our forestry, of course, because of where we are: engineering, English, construction management, nursing, anthropology, business, dental hygiene, and one of the best hotel and restaurant programs actually in the country, partially because of where we're located at the crossroads up there. Also an honors college as well too. So students who maybe have challenged themselves in high school, have taken maybe quite a bit of IB or AP courses, honors courses as well too. Students might want to study that as well, going into the honors college. Also study abroad. We actually rank pretty high compared to other universities for study abroad programs as well too. So something else for students to think about. We are also a member of the WUI, the Western Undergraduate Exchange. It's a reduced tuition. That's a savings of actually over $9,000 a year off the non-resident tuition. All accepted students from California and Nevada receive that reduced tuition rate, and it applies to all of our majors. So keep that in mind too. Usually what the WUI is 1.5 times what the in-state tuition is. So, but as you can see, they do save over $9,000 a year than if they were a true non-resident. And that applies to all of our degree programs. As I said, there's no additional application to apply for it, no deadline, no limit. And in addition to that automatic reduced WUI tuition rate, students with an unweighted GPA of a 3.0 and higher also receive an additional WUI $5,000 scholarship each year at NAU, or those with an unweighted GPA of a 3.5 and higher will actually get a higher award, a $6,000 merit scholarship per year. So something else for students to think about. We have been test optional for several years. We will continue to be so. We are just looking at these 16 core courses for admission. Students actually can be missing up to 2 of these courses and still be admitted to NAU as well. Our application actually opens up in July for juniors, so you can apply in July after you know your final grades from junior year and what you're taking senior year. And you usually hear from within a few weeks from NAU because we are on rolling admission. You can also visit us virtually if you'd like most of the colleges here today. We all have great virtual programs, but if you are coming through, please come by during 8 to 5 on any weekday into our Welcome Center. We'd love to show you around. And we also have some special virtual information sessions coming up soon. Actually, just for California students, more Discover NAU days are coming up. So please feel free to keep in touch with us. We do have limited tours each weekday, but you can always email me with your questions, or I can give you some visit dates as well too. Thanks so much for having NAU here tonight.
Thank you very much. And again, questions can be asked using the Q&A button. And also check out the chat. The representatives are sending some contact info and other links using the chat feature. So make sure to pay attention to that. Up next, we will hear from Prescott College.
Thank you so much. So hi, everybody. My name is Callan Peterson. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at Prescott College, and I'm so excited that you're here to learn more about our awesome school communities. So first thing, Prescott is a small, private, liberal arts university with a focus on social and environmental justice. We are located in Prescott, Arizona, which is a beautiful mountain town just about an hour and a half north of Phoenix. We're up in the Bradshaw Mountains, settled right on the edge of the Prescott National Forest. Our location makes us a perfectly suited launching point for both our experiential field-based learning and all of the outdoor activities that the Prescott area is famous for, such as hiking, rock climbing, biking, kayaking, etc. But Prescott is about more than just our wonderful location. We are about our students. The key principle behind Prescott College is to educate our students to make a living, making a difference. Students who come to our school want to make a difference in the world, and that's why we call them change makers. Our graduates go off to be the change they want to see in the world, becoming community organizers, founders and CEOs of non-for-profits, and even US senators. And our partnerships with organizations such as the US Forest Service, ICOSA Institute, AmeriCorps, Veterans Association, and so many more mean that our students are getting the career support they need and stepping right out into the jobs that they want. Now, we support our students toward this goal by taking an approach to education that is a little bit different and has won us numerous awards for our innovation. First off, we are an experiential model school. What this means is that our students experience their learning in a hands-on experiential way, splitting their class time between hands-on fieldwork and discussion-based Socratic seminars. And a lot of colleges like to talk about their small class sizes, but our classes cap at 20 students and average just 14. Students are assessed not through 200 question multiple choice tests and big lecture halls, but through projects, presentations, and internships. This allows students to have greater direction over their learning. And because of our small class sizes, students get the direct learning support that will make them successful. We are also a block schedule school. This means that our students don't take all of their classes concurrently, but instead take just one class at a time for 4 weeks, allowing for both a greater dive into their topic of study and more opportunities for fieldwork and internships. All of this together makes our students the drivers of their education, having the ability to direct not only the model of their learning, but also having direct control over their degree. Now, speaking of degrees, we have a large number of undergraduate fields of study, but our most popular options include environmental studies, sustainable food systems, the world's first adventure education program, social justice studies, marine studies, psychology, education, arts and letters, and sustainability, which we are a top 10 school in the nation for. On top of that, we have over a dozen master's and PhD programs. And one of the really cool things with all of our master's programs is that they're all available to students to take through an accelerated option, where students complete their bachelor's and master's in just 5 years together, which is great. Now, another way that we encourage our students to take control of their learning hands-on is through our huge variety of remote and field-based blocks and semesters. And unlike a lot of other schools that just kind of ship you off to a college abroad, we own our own field stations in other countries. Our Kino Bay Center in Mexico, which is a marine studies and ecological studies institute. Masailand, Kenya, which is right on the Masai Mara with the Maasai tribe, which is a cultural and regional field studies research institute. Telemark, Norway, which focuses on alpine ecology and environmental management. In Costa Rica, where we do sustainable development and ecotourism. Now, there's a billion other things that I could talk about that make Prescott College great, but one of them is our holistic admissions process. We are test optional. We always have been. We do require high school transcripts, but primarily we're basing our admissions off of your admissions essay and personal reference. That's because we want to get to know who you are as a person, not just what your grades were in high school. Because we don't assess you through big multiple choice tests, that's really kind of the last thing on our minds when we're measuring whether we're going to admit you. Oh, and the application is free because we never want finances to be a barrier to students applying to college. Now, in terms of community, student life, and housing, the key mentality at Prescott is community. And so a big part of this is that students direct their community. Students run the clubs, they direct the values, and even have a voice on the college board and direction of the college. The campus is beautiful, and we are just blocks off of historic downtown Prescott. We also have some incredible LEED Platinum certified dorms for our incoming students, which is really fantastic. Lastly, scholarships and affordability. 99% of students who come to Prescott College receive financial aid. And with our up to $25,000 per year merit scholarships, we are one of the most affordable private colleges around. And as a private non-for-profit, we don't have a difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition. And because we are about 70% out-of-state students, you would not be the only students from out-of-state at Prescott College. So what to do next? Stay connected. Now you can find out more, schedule a visit, take a virtual tour, connect with me, etc., all on our website. And I will be putting my contact information in the chat in just a moment. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. And again, check out the chat for the contact information being sent your way. Ask questions using the Q&A. Up next, let's hear from the University of Arizona.
All right, thank you so much, Russ. As mentioned, I'm from the University of Arizona. My name is Shannon Smith, and I am the Southern California regional recruiter out here. I'm based in the greater Los Angeles area, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our university to you. At University of Arizona, we are located in Southern Arizona in the second largest city out there called Tucson. Tucson is in Pima County, and it's an absolutely incredible place to live and study. It's incredibly eclectic, artistic, diverse, and even though it's the second largest city in Arizona, it very much has a small town community feel to it there. So that city truly lives and breathes a university. But most importantly, we are located in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. So if you want to get out and explore nature, go on walks, hiking trails, biking trails, all that kind of cool stuff, you can totally do so out there. With our campus, we're essentially located in Tucson, and we are a large campus. We're around 1 square mile, and in total, we have over 35,000 undergraduates out there. Now, even with all those students, it is an incredibly diverse student body, especially considering that we are one of the 3 public universities out there. So this past fall, for example, around 40% of our incoming students were from out of state, and that of course includes a lot of students from the Western US. Every year, we're seeing more and more students join us who identify as ethnically diverse, and we have so many different programs and resources on campus to help support that. And additionally, we are a designated Hispanic serving institution. Now, with all those students on campus, I don't want you to think that you're going to get lost in the crowds out there. We are fully staffed up and have different resources out there so that we can provide you a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And additionally, we have great support programs, whether it's our think tank, which is our free and fee-based tutoring services, or our SALT Center, which is the only program of its kind in the US to help support students with documented learning challenges and difficulties. While academics play a major role out there, we are a pretty social campus as well, with over 600 different clubs and orgs, D1 sports. We're a member of the Pac-12, so there is always something going on out there. Now, academically, we offer a lot. Hundreds of undergraduate majors for you. And with us, we are one main campus, and all those majors are housed into different colleges. So you'll actually be hearing from my colleague Ruben at the College of Agri and Life Sciences in just a moment here with it. But some other colleges we have out there that are really popular include our Eller College of Management, which is our business school. We are also huge in the sciences, and especially within the health sciences. We run the only public medical schools in the state of Arizona, also have schools of nursing, pharmacy, public health. But end of day, it's not just business and sciences. We also have top-rated arts programs in our College of Fine Arts, where it's very much a conservatory style setup for dance, music, theater, film and TV, visual art, etc. And something that a lot of our students take part in is the fact that it's pretty common and easy to maybe double major, triple major, add-on minors, so you can get creative in what you're doing. And of course, none of our majors are impacted. Now, no matter what you study, we are all about providing you with an engaged learning experience, which means right away, sometimes as early as your first year, we want to get you out there involved in the community, get you set up with internships so you're getting practical experiences, when it's safe to travel, study abroad, and most importantly, research. We are a huge research institute, R1 Tier 1, and we're the only university in Arizona who is a member of a very select group of universities, part of the AAU. And with that select group of universities there, it means that we invest so heavily in research, and on our side, particularly undergrad research. So there are ample opportunities for you to really build up some great experiences for your resume for when you graduate. In regards to academics out here, what we look for from an admissions standpoint is everything you see on this slide. No matter what major you are applying to, we want to see these core classes at the top of this slide, which we call our Sweet 16. We will use those classes to calculate your unweighted core GPA based off of your first 6 semesters of high school, so 9th through 11th grade. If you receive a 3.0 with that there, you're pretty much assured admission to the majority of our majors. Only engineering, pre-nursing, and architecture are a bit selective. And of course, some of the College of Fine Art programs might have portfolios or auditions. We do have a rolling admissions process, which means that we're actually still accepting applications right now for fall 2021. Our fall 2022 applications will open on July 1st, and we are fully test score optional. We have been for a while, and we are remaining that way for fall 2022. Now, that GPA that we calculate for admission also really comes into play as well financially, as we are a university that likes giving you free money. So every admitted student is automatically considered for an academic merit-based scholarship. And on this slide, you see our current fall 2021 scholarship chart. For any 11th graders who might be applying for fall of 2022 admission, I should have an updated scholarship chart for you later this summer. So with these scholarships, they are per year, so keep your grades up. But additionally, we do have specific awards for students who've taken a lot of rigorous courses in high school. We have our own scholarship database called Scholarship Universe, and we provide you with guaranteed tuition, which means no tuition rate hikes for your 4 consecutive years of study with us. So with that, that's my very quick introduction to all things University of Arizona. I have some basic contact info up on here, and I will also be sure to put my information in the chat. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and check out the chat for all that information that the representatives are sending you. And if you have questions, use the Q&A button. Up next, let's hear from the University of Arizona College of Agriculture and Life Sciences.
Wonderful. Thank you, Russ. My name is Ruben Fierros, and I am one of the recruitment coordinators for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at the U of A. My colleague Shannon talked a little bit about general admissions, and so we are one of the colleges within the university. So if you have any specific questions about the experience within our college, that's what I'm here for, to share a little bit more. So we are one of the smaller colleges at the university. We have about 3,000 undergraduate students, and it's kind of this really tight-knit community that I really like to talk about. We always talk about Calzin's family. What can you study within the university specific to our college? And so we break down our majors into themes. We have 21 majors, and so we break them down into kind of these sectors, which I think are easier to digest than rather than talking about all 21. And so we have something for everyone, in my opinion. We're like a university within a university, or at least I think so. So we have students that want to go into vet school. I just had a student, my student ambassador today, Laura, is graduating in 3 years with a degree in vet science and just got into the University of Arizona's vet school today. So that's a really good example, and it's just timely too. One of my other ambassadors, Alicia, majoring in microbiology, and now she's going to optometry school this fall. We also prepare educators if you want to get into teaching. If you want to go into counseling, we provide those opportunities. We have a lot of applied majors, and I think something that makes us stand out, and you'll see a little bit in pictures, is that we're part of we're the land grant institution of the state of Arizona, and all of that cooperative extension lives in our college. So we have experiment stations and research stations in every single county in the state of Arizona. It's not just in Tucson and Southern Arizona. So some of these things, especially things related to like human healthcare, especially animal healthcare and plants, we have locations all over. We have our own farm in our college. We have our own equine center, and we have something called the CEAC, which you'll see in a second, which is our Controlled Environment Agriculture Center, which is acres and acres of greenhouses. So if you want to do anything outside, you want to do things that are applied, for sure, we provide those opportunities. And so my goal tonight is to kind of talk about that through the student experience in terms of internships, research opportunities, and of course, funding. One thing that I will mention new this year is natural resources, which you'll learn a little bit more about. It's our conservation major, and that is fully WUI eligible. So happy to talk about that later on. Research is a big thing for us. This is actually one of our experiment stations that I just mentioned. This is the Santa Rita Experiment Station. So these are some of our students studying land conservation. And so our research is 24/7 and never ended, even in a pandemic. And so our students are still in our labs. They're still working 24/7. And so these are things that you can get. You can get assistantships throughout your undergraduate career. We help you find that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Career Center in a second. But if that's something you want to do, you want a research experience, we can help you find that out the jump, really. Internships is another big thing. Some of our majors require them. Others will give you course credit for them. This is actually a picture of our SEAC. So we grow crops in our greenhouses. And this is about 10 minutes away from campus. It's directly across the street from our farm. So those are some things that you can get. We have internship coordinators that are specific to the college. Some have major specific internship coordinators. That's important. So whether that is in Southern Arizona after school, or if you're looking for an internship experience during the summertime when you go back home, those are things that we will help you find. It's important to get that applied skills immediately. This is Julia. She's one of our wildlife conservation students, and she has an internship at the Reed Park Zoo, which is about 10 minutes away from our campus. We have a zoo conservation certificate that you can get. That's something that she's going to get. Laura, my vet school student that I just shared, had this internship last semester. This is something that you can do. So if you even want to work with large animals or exotic breeds, I know that's something that you might not think about in Southern Arizona, but we'll give you those experiences for sure. So this is one of our more popular internships. Study abroad for sure is an opportunity for students to get connected. These are students in our it's an organization called VITA, and they provide animal healthcare to rural communities. And so throughout their school year, they fundraise all year round, and then they provide animal healthcare to communities in Costa Rica over the summertime. And so we're excited to relaunch that this summer. And we're also relaunching our Orvieto, Italy study abroad. It's specific to studying the Mediterranean diet. You spend 6 weeks in Orvieto, Italy with other nutritional science students and faculty, and you go to like olive oil mills and cheese plants. It's just a very involved opportunity, and we're super jazzed that this is coming back this summer. Our Career Center is something that is incredible for our students, and it's specific to our college. We have 3 full-time staff members that will help you. In addition to your academics, we want to make sure you're employable. Or if your end goal is to go to graduate school, let's help you get there. They host weekly things like LinkedIn workshops, resume preps. If you have an interview coming up, you can not only rent spaces, but we will do interview questions for you. We will record it so that you can play it back and figure out things that you excelled in, things that you want to work on. We provide that feedback all the time. We have a premier event related to our Career Center, which is our etiquette dinner. We rent out a space in downtown Tucson. And you sit at a round table with other students in the college, along with industry professionals. We actually bring someone in and teach you like how to network over a meal, what spoon you should be using when you have soup, when you're interviewing with someone. It's these soft skills that we really pride ourselves in making you employable. Also, it's the best. And Southern Arizona has the best Mexican food. So if you have any questions about where you should eat when you come visit our state, I'd be happy to share that. One thing that I will share is that we also have our own scholarships. They are available to you once you are admitted. They are open every spring, and we're happy to talk to you about those experiences, in addition to the merit-based scholarships that Shannon shared. And then finally, we have a student experience website. If you have any questions or you want to learn more about any of the majors that I just shared, please check out the student experience website. We have information specific to transfer students, student videos, events, a bunch of stuff. And then of course, our contact info is there. So that is the presentation. Thank you for your time this evening. And if you have any questions, of course, please reach out.
Thank you very much. I'm going to invite all of our representatives to come back on camera, turn on their microphones, and I'll do quick little round robin Q&A as we have about 5 or 6 minutes left here in our session. I get to play talk show host, which I always like to do. But it's also fun because we get to learn a little more just beyond the 6 minutes for each school, but some advice and some fun facts and that sort of thing. So we'll have you answer in the same order that you presented. And the first question, what one piece of advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now? We'll start with Arizona State University.
Right now, I would say your first thing to do is to create an email address specific for your college search, because once you do that, you can submit it to all of the Q&As. You can use it to keep track of all of your application materials. Nothing gets lost in your personal email address, and also your high school email address will expire. So it's super important to make sure that you're kind of keeping that separate and you're not worried about it later and losing all your information.
Embry-Riddle.
I would say research your top degree options and find the best colleges, and then visit the colleges that you're interested in, because it's really hard to make a decision just based off online tours. And I think visiting the campuses and feeling that out, seeing the city and all that stuff is really important.
Northern Arizona.
And I would say in addition to getting that email address and looking up those colleges and finding out if you can visit them and all that, is trying to find out if there's an area representative, especially if you are looking out of state to Arizona, any one of these other wonderful states in the US, find out who maybe that local representative who possibly might live actually not too far away from you. So you can keep in touch with them. They'll kind of be your lifeline between yourself and the campus, checking up on your application, maybe meeting with them in person, or if there's an alumni representative around you too.
Prescott College.
I'll build off what Betsy said and say, talk to people. I mean, that's why we're all here. Every college has designated people who are literally paid in some cases to talk to you about their school. And in many cases, current students. Engage with your colleges, engage with your counselors, engage with current students at those schools and figure out what's the culture like at this place, and is this a place that I want to spend the next 4+ years of my life?
University of Arizona.
All right, so this definitely echoes a lot of what everyone else touched on here, but take advantage of these opportunities to connect and learn more about us. Like Cal said, there's so many contacts out there at universities, whether they are admissions counselors or regional recruiters or staff on campus with it. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions in advance, especially for things related to topics like financial aid, success post-grad, things like that. Those are areas that you don't want to just be researching at the last minute when we're in the month of April of your senior year. Do some advanced research on that and get those answers.
And University of Arizona College of Agriculture and Life Sciences.
Yeah, one of the recommendations I have is just kind of for an organizational standpoint, keep an Excel, have a tab for all of the institutions that you're interested in, and keep specific rows for like priority deadlines. When is their FAFSA due? When is the application due? What is their priority housing deadline? So that you stay on top of that. I just want to make sure it would suck if you missed a date. And so I would highly recommend in an organized fashion. I love Excel. And that's something that really would help me with my everyday life. And I know that it helps with students with their transition to college.
Well, I'll ask a second question here that will give a little bit of fun stuff now, as we have a few minutes left, and we'll start with Arizona State. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So there is, they call it Mount A. For me, coming from out of state, I'm like, that's a hill, not a mountain. But for Arizona, it's a mountain. And it has a giant cement A on it. And the tradition is at the beginning of the year, all the freshmen hike up and they paint it white. And then at the end of the year, all the seniors hike up and they paint it gold. But during different sporting events, other teams try to paint it their school colors overnight. So you have to go up and guard the A with like lanterns and camp out and things like that. So there's a lot of traditions like that. That was my personal favorite. I know nothing about sports, but I really like the idea of that kind of like camaraderie and also just the school spirit that's involved. So.
Embry-Riddle.
We are an aeronautical university, so I would have to say during our homecoming week, we do host an air show where military pilots fly over. We have aerobatic pilots, and it's a huge event for everyone on campus. Even if you're not into flying, everyone's out there on the flight line and enjoying it, and it's just a nice community feel.
Northern Arizona.
One of the great things that NAU does during the beginning of our first home football game is that they allow the freshmen to kind of storm the field and introduce the football players. So it's called the running of the freshmen, and it's usually pretty safe. Students, stay close, but not too close. Don't get trampled and all that, but it's kind of exciting for them to kind of storm that field and run onto the field. They get a lot of free stuff for doing that as well too. Students also have their own section in our Sky Dome as well. We're one of only, I think, 7 covered Sky Domes in the US if you're into covered Sky Domes for athletics because of the snow. And they have their own section in there too, where they will show their LJs, their lumberjack little symbol. Yep.
Prescott College.
Like many things at Prescott, we are very unique, is our graduation. At Prescott College graduation, our students actually choose a faculty member to sort of give them away. And the faculty member gets up and talks about the student for a minute or two. And then the student has an opportunity for a couple of minutes to talk about what they are doing next, what job they're going off to do, what their plans are, and all those great things. So each and every student has that platform at graduation to talk a bit about their wonderful plans.
University of Arizona.
So one of my favorite traditions, which hopefully will be able to come back next spring, is our Spring Fling Carnival. Because we are such a social campus with a large student body and so many clubs, a really cool thing is all those leaderships in our clubs and our student government typically come together every spring to hold one of the nation's largest student-run carnivals to not only benefit our students, but the community out there. So it's a really great bonding event for everyone. And if it's safe to travel next spring, that's also a great opportunity for prospective students to come out and tour campus, because you truly get to see how active student life can be.
And University of Arizona College of Agriculture and Life Sciences.
Yeah, mine is also a spring event because I just think that our weather is the best in the spring. And so we host a festival of books in the middle of campus. And it's really open to all of our community members in addition to U of A students, but we bring in authors from all over the world. It's kind of like swap meet style. So there's all these different booths. We have this thing called Science City that's there. That is run through the College of Science. All of our museums are available free of charge. It's just a great weekend to get out, explore the community that is both U of A and not U of A related. And it's just such a Tucson thing that it just makes it's the best. And so I'm looking forward for that to come back this springtime.
Well, thank you all for sharing your favorite campus traditions and your advice for students going through the college search process. And of course, all of the great information about each of your institutions. I want to thank our attendees for joining us. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings, strivescan.com/WACAC. Once again, thank you to our representatives for presenting during the session, and thank you all for joining us. Have a great rest of your Monday evening. Take care.